bodybuilding. The mindset of the everyday person, it's like all you gotta do, you're just popping steroids, you're getting big and bulky, but you're a natural competitor. You'll take performance enhancers. But again, I've often been told this. That's only a small factor. It's not really the be all part of it. It's the
Hmm.
consistency. Follow your diet. Stick it to a regimen. Making
Yes.
sacrifices. Like I said again, like the holidays came up. You couldn't eat with your family like you used to. Like you had to bring your own food because mom get a turkey and a chicken out, and yeah. Say, hey,
I
sweetheart, you
did
want to eat
I
that?
did get to eat Christmas food though. I did. Thanksgiving, however, I could not. That was sad.
Yeah, well, like I said, that's the one thing sacrifice of this. The choices to make because when you get to into sport, you have to understand there's some things you have to do, especially if
Yes.
you're a competitor. You want to, step on the stage like a big event like the Olympia. You just can't just say, I can't be half stepping. It's all
Hmm.
in or no. We got here
Yes.
from a man, Money J 2024 shot to him. He says, two different interviews all in one day. You're quite busy, George. Yeah, but I'm busy. I got another one coming tomorrow. Also, he says, love the pigtails, long pigtails braids is reminds me of Abigail, aka Abby from The Last of Us. Yeah, I never watched that show, never heard of it. And also, he
Thank you.
said, yeah, he says, the Red Fox, love the nickname. So where you get it from? Where you get your nickname from?
So what's really funny is my dad gave me the nickname originally. When I was a kid, he'd always used to call me Foxy Roxy. And I had this stuffed fox. It was my favorite stuffed animal. And so it was always Foxy Roxy, Foxy Roxy. And at my show, my cousin made this huge poster called with Foxy Roxy on it. And um one of my one of my friends actually messaged me and was like, "Hey, you know what? Like I watched your show, like you look great and you're just like a red fox up there with that suit." And it just kind of stuck, the red fox.
That's really cute. I mean, everybody has a nickname. My nickname as a kid was they call my middle name is George Page. My mom used to call me because that was her maiden name. I was called Page or Page Boy. That's nothing really fancy. Here this is for a man Warrior 2000 says, "Oh snap, Red Fox is a foxy badass nickname. Love it." Also, he says, I love cool nicknames. You and I are already friends. Roxy, kudos. Yeah, appreciate that. So,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. So, like I said, one thing you talk about dinner, your food. I can ask you, ladies, especially you just got your pro card. You've been dieting. You've been, you just been on this, you've just been denying yourself your desires. Tell me, Roxanne, share with me. Where's that thing that you wanted the most, and you finally get to taste it? What was it? Share your sins with me.
Well, it was two things. One, pizza. I wanted pizza so bad and I wanted some dessert. We went and got pizza after the show. It was awesome. And I tried a calzone for the first time, which was better than the pizza. So I'm very happy that we also got a calzone. And I got a Reese's peanut butter cup cheesecake and tiramisu. It was so good.
Yeah, people gotta understand that when you're on prep, so many sacrifices can be, especially the food. Some foods are not conducive for a competitor. You can't eat everything that everybody else eats. Like you can't go like when you go out with your family and friends, you can't eat what they're eating there. You have to bring your own food.
Hmm.
And we get the opportunity after all that time and work and everything else, you get to have a little sinful little taste of something. But then, you have to go back into work, you have to go back into your plan. Like I said, I saw that you do your career is a mechanical engineer.
Correct.
When did you get into that, and how long you been? Do you work in companies or anything like that?
Oh gosh, I have been working in the industry for about 8 years now. I worked with a company called Broza. In 2016, I got an apprenticeship with them, which turned into a full-time position after the apprenticeship ended. and I went to school for mechanical engineering to get my bachelor's while I was working full time with Broza. So I am a graduated mechanical engineer of 1 year, and I just recently switched positions to work with a defense company for design. So I was in the automotive design industry for 7 years, and or 7.5 approximately, and just recently switched to defense design for the last 2 months. So everything's quite fresh there. I actually switched during prep, which was a little crazy to do, but I got a brand new job during prep, and it's something that I really like doing. I love the just finding solutions to problems. I love the challenge of being an engineer, and especially design. Design is something I'm very passionate about.
Yeah, that's a good thing. You have passion for your bodybuilding, you have passion for design. The fence stuff that's working with the government, that's much appreciated because you're providing service, especially for the military and other venues out there. You know, I mean, and especially for a woman, not a lot of women get into that as a career. Not as many because it's very a lot of math and science. But when you find something you really like, you should follow, especially just like in bodybuilding. You have
Hmm.
to really love this sport. Like I said, again, I know you go to work, your coworker says, "Hey, uh, get Roxy over here. She can lift it. She's strong." And sometimes it's just it's good that do your coworkers ever ask you questions about, especially if they want to consider getting to like, bodybuilding is a extreme sport, but it's also some very good fitness aspects to it.
Yeah, yeah. No, I would have coworkers approach me about fitness and about nutrition topics all the time. In my last job and my current job, they just noticed, over the years, this girl became this beautiful bodybuilder. Like, okay, yeah, we got to talk to her. How did she get from A to B? How did she get to here? And I talk a lot about diet. I talk a lot about diet with my coworkers because it's, a lot of them have kids, a lot of them have families, and they're always, wondering what they can eat, or like if they, go out to eat for lunch. And I just tell them, it's being consistent. It's being consistent with your diet, it's being consistent with your exercise. And like that's where I started eating cleaner. Sure, yeah, every once in a while I'd have like something my mom cooked, or I'd go out with friends. But the days that I stayed consistent, and as the days turned into weeks and the weeks turned into months, like that's when I started to see my progress. That's when I saw the fruits of my labor. It's a very delayed gratification sport. And when you are dedicated to it, you know that you're doing it for yourself. And uh, like making that consistency, doing it for yourself, because not only like do you have to, but hey, this is a goal I set for myself. I want to achieve that goal. Like this is a goal that only I can achieve. So I want to do it, and I want to make that step. I want to make that change. And, it really does start with making that change, wanting to make a change. And but I love sharing, even some of like my recipes, what I eat for my meal preps with people. And I want them to know that it's easily accessible. It's not as hard as you think. Like, just start small. You don't have to think about the huge big picture where you want to be. Start where you are now. Start where you're now and make those small changes, and keeping consistent with those small changes, you'll see the results, and that will light the fire even more for those bigger goals and those bigger ambitions for overall health and fitness.
Yeah, because there's a lot of work to be done. Like I said again, the be consistent, follow your diet, working on things, and so much. And then if you influence people because some people, especially for women, there's always the prejudging of women with muscle. Always talking about, well, she's trying to be manly, rah, rah, rah. We guys that look like me, we saying that. But here's the thing: is like I was told it's not that easy unless you follow the diet, unless you're consistent. And also, not so much trust in the process. is when you understand the process, then you can trust it. You just don't get it something like wholeheartedly because, like I said, there's been coaches that gave plans to some people and they don't work because, especially for women, men and women, we're the same races but we're different species. You might would say. But it's good that someone like Drew, he understands you. He knows how to work with you, how to build you. I mean, this a lot is that support from your family and friends is necessary. Because I don't know if I was your dad, we want to see my daughter walking around in a bathing suit and
I
clean
know.
heels. I know. You show pictures. Hey, what's your dad's name?
Derek.
Derek said, "Hey, this is my daughter." Say, "Hey, Derek, that's your girl. Is that little Roxy?" Yeah. I'll take this picture with me, Derek. I'll be right back later. But it's good that they understand. Most people I've talked to sometimes tell me that family and friends don't understand. They don't know what it is because most people, you think about bodybuilding, you think about a guy like Arnold Schwarzenegger that pops up. I used to go out to watch the movies and I was drunk and talking, but not a big fan of his politics when it comes down to when his bodybuilding. He kicked out of his shows. The Arnold Schwarzenegger class are coming up in a few months. Don't even have figure anymore. I just me as for this content, I really think y'all ladies deserve a little more, especially when it comes to financial, because it's a bigger cost compared to you and the men. The men, all you gotta do is wear a pair of banana hammocks and board shorts and tan. You ladies have to have your hair, your makeup, especially for y'all ladies in high heel divisions. You got to have those high heels. Your posing suits. That's right there. That could be
Right.
your rent, a mortgage. I mean, just so much involved with it, especially if you're doing this all on your own. Like especially you have anybody are you talking with sponsors, anybody in the future, or you feel like you want to have sponsors?
I feel like it would be fun. I did reach out to a lot of or meet a lot of people at the show, and I got to meet a lot of different uh, people from different brands. For instance, Free Spirit that I'm wearing, IFBB Pro League apparel. It would be really cool to have a sponsor in the future. I think that's something that I would like to reach out and see if I could make deals with those brands, but as of right now, nothing at the moment.
Yeah, I understand that. Here we got a comment from a man, G.O. James. He says, salute. Thank you, brother, for coming through. Salute to you. Also, and this is from my man, Warrior 2000 says, you a cool lady, Roxy. Hope to have a second interview with George again next year, maybe, so he can have you back. Okay, yeah,
That would be
appreciate it, brother.
wonderful. I would love to be back.
Yeah. Also, he says this. He told me this. Says Abby from the video game Last of Us, now a TV series. You never heard of that, George? Nah, I don't watch TV like that. I'm an old dude. I watch old TV shows and cartoons. And also, this is a comment from my man. This is my man. Shout out to my man Omar coming through. This Congress of Life. He says, also see new figure pros. Yeah, and also, this is one more from my man, Warrior says, we're going to pray for you, George, whenever you get Andrea Shaw on your channel as a guest to keep your composure. I will put holy water on the screen and say, God bless, give George the strength to talk. Well, his thing is, like I said, doing this content, ladies, I become friendly with. Some of these I really call friends. I mean, I really appreciate that. My friend Eunice, Eunice runs her own company called Bad Rap. She's also IFB Pro herself. She was at the Olympia in 2023. Now she saw Andrea say she got this issue for me, and also what made it so special.
Did she sign it? Oh my gosh.
She says, George, you are the best. You support means the world to me. See you soon and sending you love, Andrea Shaw. Ah,
She was
ah.
a guest poser at one of the shows that I attended. In the audience, I was just watching, but she was a guest poser, and I'm like, oh my God, this woman is just beautiful, gorgeous. Like, I could not believe it. She was like right in front of me 2 times, I think. Just
I,
absolutely insane.
I remember was it my went to my first Spider-Man show that was back in 2022. It was Savannah Pro. It was the last year to have it because it was in Savannah, Georgia. I She was their guest poser, her and Mona Persley. I got to see her seen her on the stage, and it was maybe about a month before she did the Rising Phoenix that year. It was just I was just oh at her, and I got to meet some other ladies there. I wish I would have loved to talk to her. I follow her. I'm just She just has that great. There's so many ladies in the sport. I'm really a fan of. I'm really a fan because she brings beauty and style and grace. Just something that women's bodybuilding need. Like, who do you follow that you would love to meet that you're fan of?
Oh my gosh, it's almost a little embarrassing because like I'm so new to the sport, and like I know ladies like Andrea Shaw and Sydney, um, and like Chris Bumstead I follow. I know he's in the guy portion of the bodybuilding, but like there are a lot of inspiring men out there, Like I'm inspired by training and how people train, and I love when pros and Olympia athletes post how they train, and it's yeah, the posing, the pictures are nice, but like I want to know how they got there, how are they training to look like this, and that's inspiring to me. But I really want to uh just do a deep dive. I really want to go to the Arnold too. I really want to meet all the people that are going to be there. I want to get a chance to meet Arnold Schwarzenegger. How cool would that be? It would be my first time attending, so I would love to attend the show. But it's I'm again, I'm just starting. Like this is all still so new to me, and I love the people that I meet everywhere, from the show, from social media, and it's just going to keep growing, and I see my fan base growing, and I see me supporting other people growing as well, and I have followed probably at least 200 people from the show, and then people from all across like the country already since like 2 weeks ago. It's just I want more content to inspire me, and I want also to inspire others.
Yeah. You're still new. You're still, like my man Jerome would say, like you're still right behind the ears and breath smell like Similac. You're still brand new. So and that's my
Exactly.
man. Yeah, my man Jerome, the international player from the Himalayas. Yeah, because it is great when, especially if you're a fan and you get to meet some of these people and to interact with them, especially on social media and doing
I
interviews.
at my show in October, I met Jay Cutler, and he signed my lifting belt. So I have my belt signed by him. I have the overall belt that I won from the show also signed by him, and just like meeting a celebrity. He was right there in front of me. I shook his hand, took pictures with him, everything. Like it's just crazy. But the coolest thing is they're just normal people. They're just normal people. They just want to enjoy the show too. They just want to be there to be like, "Hey, I inspired you. That's so cool. Like, let's get a picture." And they're just like so down to earth. They just want to chat and talk and share their experience too. And that's what I really love is that, no matter who you meet in this industry, they're always so excited to meet you. They're always so excited to share their experience, and it just inspires you more to be a better bodybuilder, to be a better lifter, to be a better influence to others.
Yeah, that's right, because you have to really just really enjoy what you get out of the sport. Even though the sacrifice you have to make, the time you have to put into it, but then to meet people like Andrea, people like Jay Cutler, to meet people like Chris Bumstead. I remember when I was a kid, we went to Disney World and we were on the way out through Epcot, and I saw Alex Trebek. And I mean, yeah, he was walking the other way. He had his daughter on his shoulders. I think she was like maybe 2 years old at the time. And I wish I ran out of film on my camera.
No.
Because I was this country boy being here. That was my first time in Disney World, something big. I was just taking pictures. If it was the day when we had digital cameras, I would love to take, but, it was great to see someone like here. And, yeah, I just, a lot of these people, they are just regular people. Most people wouldn't know who Andrea Shaw, somebody, Chris Bumstead is he's probably very popular on social media. Which he just made his
Mhm.
retirement also at the Olympia, and he did his first bodybuilding show a couple months ago. But yeah, just being in sport, even though it's a small community in a way, it's growing, it's expanding. I've
Mhm.
done interviews with ladies from across from South Africa to the Czech Republic to England, and a lot of ladies here in the States, and I live in North Carolina. I remember when I got saw my first female bodybuilder, and both of them are good friends of mine. We done interviews and talking on social media, and it was just a experience for me. And being doing this content, I get to learn. I get to, you know, sometimes it just get odd, especially you ladies who do this, because like I said again, there's so much to it, and it's so hard, and it's always a taboo to women. Everybody think like this.
Yeah.
If I lift the everyday person would say, if I lift 5 pounds, I'm gonna be like Ronnie Coleman or be like Jay Cutler. No, if you don't follow the diet, because it's just not that easy.
Yeah.
Here we got here a comment from a man. Shout out to my man, Congress of Life. He says, "Can't wait to see Roxanne on that Olympia stage." Appreciate that, brother. Thank you. Also, shout out to my man, Warrior 2000. Says, "Miss Pretty Muscle Babe, Andrea Shaw." Yes, that's her name. He says. Also, he says this. Uh, he says, Andrea Shaw is like a living artwork, like something from the Smithsonian Museum. Make you just in awe." Yes, she is. And also he says this, he says, C-Bum is a rock star with the biggest following on social media
Yeah.
ever living large. I mean, yeah, you really gotta, really respect these competitors and their work.
Mhm.
So,
But no,
yeah,
definitely like but what you're doing here is, the exposure part of it. And going back to what you said, like a lot of women do get nervous around weights and lifting weights because they're like you said, they don't want to turn out like Ronnie Coleman. But, giving this exposure and showing that like there's different levels of bodybuilding, there's different levels of training that you can take yourself to. Sure, you can train at like a high physique or women's open bodybuilding level, but not every level of training is going to take you there. It's your dedication, it's your goals, it's what you want to what results you want to see. And if you have a good coach, if you have somebody that you trust, like they're going to make your program in a way where you're going to get the results that you want. They're not going to make you turn into a bodybuilder if you just want to lose 5 pounds and look good in a bikini. It's all about trust. It's all about omitting those taboos, those old ways of thinking, because personally, where I started versus now, I am a completely different person in my confidence. I am completely different in how I act in public towards others, how I interact with my coworkers or even people at the gym. Like I built so much confidence. I built so much almost like a power within me. And that is something that I've been wanting to share, and what I've been trying to share on, my social media and through all my experiences, is how much better I feel, how my lifestyle has changed since I started training. Not only just being a bodybuilder, not stepping on stage, like even before all of that, it was the wow, I feel good. Wow, I feel so confident. I feel like I can just conquer the world every day I wake up, and I just feel like, yeah, you know what? We're going to crush some goals today. We're going to take my training one step further. I'm going to push myself and do an extra rep. And then, you see the improvements in just your day-to-day activities, and it feels so good to fit in your clothes, to feel good about what you're eating, to make routines and stick to them. And, sticking to those makes you feel good about yourself because you're not letting all those other things get in the way. You're doing this for yourself. And like there's different levels of bodybuilding. There's different levels of bodybuilding, but they all build that confidence and they all build that strength. And that's something that I feel like every woman should feel.
yeah, that's truthfully from conversation I have with ladies offline, online. Sometimes we talk about stuff. Really, this is a passion sport. You have to have a true passion for it. You have to understand the time you're like, you can't go out with your friends every other night. You can't, some places say friends have changed because they can't go hang out at the bar or the club with their friends. You go home and you visit family members like Christmas and Thanksgiving and holidays. You can't eat everybody, what everybody eating. You have to bring your own food. And then, the time you got to put in the gym, the consistency,
Mhm.
not enough motivation, but discipline. Motivation is good every now and then, but you have to be the discipline. You have to have your mindset. You have to understand when you give it the morning, I got to go work out. I got to do cardio. I got to do leg day, which everybody hates leg. I had a handful of ladies say they love leg day. I call them mutants. You're mutants if you love leg day. I understand, sometimes I have some, like everybody say, oh, how much you bench? Somebody said, I don't like doing bench because I don't like doing bench. But you have to find the things that help you in this process.
Mhm.
And so again, Drew, he understands what he needs to do, and hope for the best of luck for his career and his in bodybuilding, out of bodybuilding, whatever he wants to do, and also for you. Here we get here a comment from my man Warrior 2000. He says Arnold went down to Deuce Town for us bodybuilding fans when he took out women's bodybuilding and women's physique divisions out of the All Sport Classic Festival show. Yeah, not a big fan of that. Also, Warrior says Jay Cutler is the man. Ronnie Coleman is the GOAT. Also, he says Mr. Coleman, the king. Yeah, buddy. Lightweight, lightweight.
Wait.
Like he said like this. Ronnie said like this. If I want to be a bodybuilder, I want to lift this heavy ass weight. And also, we have here is this is for a man, Money J. He asked you, Roxanne, where is you Roxanne originally from? Well, you say you're from Michigan, and your name is very interesting. What's the origin of your family's name?
Oh gosh. So my I guess my nationality is Polish. My dad came from Poland and moved here when he was a teenager, and that's where he met my mom. And I have lived in Michigan ever since, in the city of Rochester. It's just been my hometown.
Yeah, that's good. Your dad comes from Eastern Europe, where I remember I quite clearly told me that really bodybuilding has really grown there, in Czech Republic because of guys like Arnold Schwarzenegger's, the Sylvester Stallone's. It really
Mhm.
influenced a lot of people getting bodybuilding. There's like a good growing numbers of bodybuilders coming from the
From
East. I
Europe,
mean,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's amazing ladies. Some ladies, like I said, been in contact with them. And he was with some ladies are still in contact. There's one lady, she's Russian, 56 years old. You wouldn't think she was 56. You look at her. You're thinking she was maybe in her 40s, but her body is just unbelievable. You just be astonished. So,
Yeah, when you
So,
take care of yourself and you fuel yourself the right way, age is just a number.
yeah. Well, I made some mistakes myself because didn't take care of myself like I should. I just turned 50 last month, and I got two bad knees like Stone Cold Steve Austin. I got a pacemaker. I can blame my parents for that because they had bad genetics. My mom diabetic, father had bad heart. He passed on to the rest of us. But you know what? When like I said, I took care of my mom for a long time, and then when I decided to take care of myself, I really learned some things from you ladies about dieting. Some things I don't eat much like I used to. I'm not saying I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder, but I was out earlier. I got myself a pizza and ate a zebra cake. But I try to make good decisions. But you know what? I don't try to be perfect, but from you ladies, you have to really be on your game, work on the things, and make those improvements, especially your diet. I know sometimes you get
Mhm.
tired of eating that same thing every day, but then you understand if it wasn't for that, you wouldn't be sitting here right now and now IFBB Pro.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah. We got here a comment from my man, Ward Session. Roxy, you look like you're got some Valkyrie bloodline somewhere down on your family because you look like uh Boonhilda.
Oh
well,
my gosh.
yeah, yeah. And also, this is from my man KL Wonder says, no excuses for 2025 George. I'm gonna make my excuses I want, man.
No
I'm
excuses.
gonna make I'll make excuses. I ain't like I said, I ain't
Uh,
but yeah, but like I said, folks, we do appreciate your time. and we don't want to hold up too much because, like I said, she's a busy lady. She took time to sit and talk with us.
I was gonna
Give us
say I could
thoughts.
sit and talk for hours.
Well, I'm not as young like you, young ladies. Sometimes, when you get to that age and hit past 9 o'clock, you're like, yeah, you can ask your dad, But yeah, I enjoy it when I get to talk to you ladies, and I enjoy getting a perspective of what it is to be a bodybuilder and the passion of it. I really learned something. Like my channel is a small channel, and
Mhm.
I've been doing this for a while now, but I really like, like people like Female Body Channel. I really they one of those channels really inspired me because I've been in contact with. I even did a live stream with them once. DD on the spot. My man Kier, he also does content. As my man David from Female Body